So, sports fans and ringside live, it's 12 rounds of boxing for the British and Commonwealth Welterweight Championship.
Okay, gentlemen, you've had your instructions in the dressing room. You know what I expect of you. Touch gloves, good luck to you both.
Watch for Mutley early on with his left hook in particular. He's pretty heavy-handed, even though he's only recently arrived up at welterweight. Anderson may be the more consistent of the two. Mutley can sometimes be a little bit lazy in his fights. We'll have to be careful he doesn't get outworked here. An Anglo-Scottish battle then for the British and Commonwealth Welterweight Championships. Mutley, the British champion, in the white and red, the green of Anderson from Scotland, who is the Commonwealth champion. Something has to give here. One of them will be a dual champion by the end of the night. Good left hook from Anderson.
He just caught him with it again. That's the left hook, then right hand, followed by a left hook. I think Anderson realises he's got to get this fellow under control and on the back foot. Although Anderson is probably naturally bigger, I think this fellow carries more power and he single punches. Then he's just shaking him with that one.
He did, didn't he? That left hand early we were talking about from young Mutley, whose confidence might have risen dramatically after years in the wilderness because of his British title win over Michael Jennings. Might make him a different fighter. He feels he was avoided and sidetracked and ignored, nearly gave up the business, in fact, before he got his surprise chance. Great support for young Mutley, and here he's from West Bromwich, just up the road here from the Aston Villa Leisure Centre, just under the Aston Expressway in Birmingham.
Well, Anderson getting the punches off a little bit quicker. His jab's working well. He's already tasted the danger in Mutley's left hook.
Anderson unbeaten in 16 contests, and 7 of those wins have come inside a couple of rounds. So he has a bit of power too.
Anderson's getting his punches off in threes, not giving Mutley a chance to counter. I think he realises a single jab could be dangerous.
Much anticipated fight. That's very good work again from Mutley. 3-punch combination from him. He's been pretty accurate with his work. Anderson comes back. This could be an even Steven kind of battle. Most people saw it as a 50-50 fight going in.
Yeah, well, Mutley's maybe hit Anderson. Another good shot from Mutley. The single. You can see the power in these shots. Here it goes again.
Sharp, fast punches from young Mutley. Eye-catching punches. Doubling up on the jab, he makes Anderson give some ground. He looks bigger, even though the perception before this fight was that Anderson was naturally the heavier man of the two. Another good right hand from young Mutley. He's doing most of the work. I think that the judges will notice.
He's only got one style, don't get drawn into a scrap.
Young Mutley, his last 4 fights have gone the distance, but he showed a bit of power in that first round.
Yeah, I thought the quality punches came from Mutley in the opening round, the dangerous punches, but the work rate was with Anderson. I thought Anderson was putting punches together, his jab was working well. But I think actually both men will be happy with their performance in the opening round.
Here's round 2 for the British and Commonwealth Welterweight Championships. Mutley's record, by the way, 20 wins, only 1 defeat. That was against Wahid Fats early in his career. He was flawed. He has been on the floor in his career, and sometimes pretty dangerous when he gets up from that kind of thing. Good little left hand on the inside, and then a good right too from Anderson. Back comes Mutley with a left hook, and Anderson gives ground. It's terrific action.
Another full-blooded shot from Mutley. Anderson is taking them well, but he doesn't want to be taking too many.
Early on, the impression is of Mutley with just a bit of extra dig. Just an impression. There's a real intensity about this. Anderson, although he's only 23, had a big amateur career in which he boxed at the Commonwealth Games, and he's nice and consistent and reliable. Got an old head on young shoulders.
More quality punches from Mutley, double left hook. Anderson has been caught too cleanly. His power hasn't troubled Mutley in the slightest. He's been troubled several times already.
Mutley too with the home advantage, which will lift him. It's always in your favour, that of course.
I just feel at this point that Anderson is the one with the problems. He's felt the power. He's just maybe been a little bit cagey, not quite the confidence he would like to put into his work, because he's been nailed with counters a couple of times which have shaken him.
It might have hurt young Mutley, all the debate about his British title win over Michael Jennings, and he'll want to make it emphatic and show here tonight that it was certainly no fluke. Oh, what a left hand! Floors Anderson, absolutely brilliant shot from young Mutley. Anderson's up quickly, but how much has that knocked out of him?
Well, he's given several warnings, and that's what happens. You don't take the warnings. He's in all sorts of trouble here.
Mutley just slipped to the floor. That gave Anderson only the briefest respite, and he needs it too. Mutley is looking to nail him again. He's fast as well, as these left hooks are winging around Anderson. A bit too easy to hit.
Anderson needs to find the power to discourage Mutley a little bit. He hasn't found it yet. Big round for Mutley. He was winning it without the knockdown.
Kevin Anderson facing a crisis because of this.
Well, several times Anderson's been warned about the left hook, but he's dropping his right hand. Mutley looks to be like a left-handed fighter, although he's orthodox, because all the power seems to be in that left hook. It was a beautiful punch. See, you can see he's taken what Anderson's got, coming right through and landing much better punches. That's the left hook from Anderson, but it was more of a stumble. No way was that a knockdown. As we said, the single punch power definitely with Mutley.
Not counted as a knockdown as well when Mutley was on the floor, but Anderson very definitely down. This is the third round of this. Explosive stuff already. And the Midlands fans, who haven't had too much to shout about one way and another, not only in this sport, pretty excited about what they're seeing so far. Can Anderson claw his way back from this? He's not used to this kind of treatment in his pro career so far. Well, Mutley's just extra experience, having been around the game that bit longer, worked for him as well. Can Anderson find a response?
And I don't think Anderson's outboxing Mutley the way he expected to do. A tremendous amateur pedigree. I'm sure he thought he would have come off best at long range. Not really happening.
There's that left hand again, and he's dropping his glove, and he's been a bit of a sucker for that, Anderson. He must have known about it in all the preparations for the fight. But Mutley saw something. He was at ringside watching Anderson against Craig Dixon in a Commonwealth title defence. He said he saw things to take advantage of. Anderson challenged him to prove it. Well, maybe he is so far.
He also said he wasn't all that impressed with Anderson that night. Well, he's certainly not in the slightest worried about his reputation. Mutley's maybe dropped the pace a little bit in this round, maybe looking for the single pot shots which have been so successful for him.
Anderson's going to need work rate and improved defence to get back in this, you feel. Maybe he can outwork Mutley and then keep himself out of trouble as much as possible, tighten up that defence. That has to surely be the plan. Bit better there as he gets away with a good jab.
What Anderson wants to be doing is the right hand on the chin and get that jab working, because he's landing it well, he's stepping right in with it, it's accurate. But there's always the problem every time Mutley's left hook goes.
Got to get that right glove up. There's Anderson. Otherwise, there's another left hook on the way sometime soon. That one didn't land. It was parried that time.
I think Anderson just again doing this and work rate this round. I mean, I will say there's nothing wrong with his chin, because he seemed to clear straight away as soon as he got back up. He was back down to business again, but that was a heavy knockdown.
He did well to get up from it, really. Might have knocked a lot of people out. Better from Anderson, at least he's getting a bit of a foothold in this round. He's just gone a little lazy, perhaps, young Mutley, this time around. And in doing that, has just allowed Anderson to regather himself, so to speak.
Bit more rhythm than what Anderson's doing now, using the range well, come back really well. Good round for Anderson.
Come on, slow it down, slow it down.
Errol Johnson and his team in the corner. Bob Plant, the cut man, Jason Shinfield as well.
Make him miss, make it easy for yourself.
Busy little gym up the road from here at Wednesbury. It's going well, the gym, but they need Mutley to deliver for them tonight.
Don't show tiredness.
Fourth round. British champion Young Mutley in the white and red trunks, the green of Scotland's Kevin Anderson. Anderson on the floor heavily in round two.
Anderson's landing the left hook well, but it's not budging Mutley. That is the big difference between the two of them. Although Mutley didn't quite look so happy in the corner at the end of the previous round there. Quick fire punches from Anderson.
Yeah, just countered there. Mutley occasionally looking disorganised when Anderson does breach his defences.
I mean, sometimes when you put a man down heavily and he gets back up and right down to business, it can have a worse effect on the man who scored the knockdown. Because Mutley is just going to get into a little shell a few times since that knockdown.
Gets him with a left hand, it's a cut. Bad cut, right eye of Kevin Anderson, and he's blinking away the blood. We think a clash of heads has caused that, and it does look quite bad, as if Anderson didn't have enough problems. He's caught by that left hand, and that moved him as well. This is lifted Mutley. He gets back to work, piles in the punches. Crowd are on their feet all around the ring here as Mutley steps it up again. Just when Anderson was beginning to get back, that cut looks bad, Jim.
It does look bad. We'll see an experienced referee, Phil Edwards, will let it go to the end of the round, give the corner a chance to work on it. But just the last thing Kevin Anderson needed, he's got enough problems in here.
Might be obscuring the vision a little bit as well. Just when he was starting to find a rhythm to Anderson.
See, that's the story so far. The better quality punches, more powerful from Mutley. The work rate from Anderson.
Got with the right to the temple there as well.
He's taken too many of these left hooks. Defence is non-existent.
Maybe he feels he has to gamble because of the cut. But he really has to think that it is a long game and that the corner can do something to mend that.
That left hook has changed his mind, Ian. That left hook a few seconds ago put him on the back foot.
Yeah, he's shaken up by these. He's getting buzzed up by young Mutley's left hook, and Mutley might take him out if he's not careful with one of these. He's looking a puncher in there tonight, the Midlander.
Anderson's legs don't look strong. I think that left hook halfway through the round took a lot out of him. He's not got himself back together again yet.
Mutley back in big control, and Anderson heavily cut in the fourth. Not his night so far, not at all. Chance of easy from the Midlands fans.
in his defences are non-existent. There the heads coming together, you can see that, which obviously caused the cut. But he still hasn't learned this left hook. I'm amazed how many times Mutley has caught him cleanly with it, and every time it lands cleanly, you can see the effect it has. And that was the one that just for the rest of that round, Anderson didn't quite have his equilibrium.
Fifth round. So I think if that cut was to stop the fight, there will be no question at all that Mutley would be declared the winner. Red and white, remember, young Mutley. Green of Kevin Anderson from Methil in Fife, 7 years younger. Young Mutley, the fighter who thought he was going nowhere, despite continuing to clock up wins along the way of varying quality.
I mean, this is a difficult job for Anderson. When every time he's caught cleanly, he's stunned by the punches. I mean, Mutley has just come along quietly through his career, always producing the goods, but he really has come on in leaps and bounds since he come up to title level.
Benny King's done his best with the cut. For the moment, it's okay, but will it reopen? Got a good man in the corner on that front. Trouble is for Anderson, he can't really make a dent on young Mutley, and young Mutley's leaving more than dents in Anderson so far.
For me, that's the big difference between the two. Anderson's punches have had no effect whatsoever on Mutley. Mutley can come through them, still get his own punches off.
Oh, and there's another one. That dipped the knees, didn't it? That left hook. Every time, the Mutley honey punch. That left hook, it's worked for him a treat tonight.
We've said winning titles improves a fighter. That's definitely the case with young Mutley. He's controlled in there, picking his punches beautifully. Anderson's having to alter the tactics if he's trying to do it in what rate. He realises he can't take chances. There's the left hook again.
He just has to hold on for a moment. Is Anderson running out of ideas a little? Mutley is a bit quicker too and has a reach advantage, and that is helping him as well in this fight. Plus the home advantage. At the moment, he must feel as if he's trying to swim against a pretty heavy current, Kevin Anderson.
And this is the pace that Mutley wants to work at. Anderson must have planned to outwork him, to dictate the pace, dictate the action. It's not happening. He's having to think before he makes any moves because he's been stunned so often by single punches.
Anderson needs to do something just to lift his confidence in the fight. Land a punch maybe that can shake up Mutley a bit. Mutley has been on the floor in his career. Could Anderson find a punch that might do that? At the moment, Mutley looks confident and dominant.
Just change the angle, yeah?
Mix it up a bit, yeah? Change things.
Keep that right handle, that's all he do. He throws an head
By
left.
the way, good pay night too for these two fighters tonight. Such was the purse bidding, and it went to a couple of rounds of it before Errol Johnson won the purse bids at around £50,000. That's not bad for them to share out, is it?
Yeah, but I tell you, they're having to watch particularly Kevin Anderson.
Good pay night, and they're earning it. Plenty of interest as well here. Sixth round of this. White and red, British champion Young Mutley. Green, Kevin Anderson, the Commonwealth champion. Nice jab from Anderson, but he's going to need more of that.
See, I don't think Anderson has the confidence to step right in with the punches now. He's been shaken so often. Half of his mind is on landing punches, the other half is on what's coming back his way. He's going to have to step in there, get some punches off at long range, and at this pace, it's suiting Mutley.
If Anderson could get on the inside and maybe wade away to the body a bit, it could help him, but that's a pretty big if.
I think he's got to get in, get the punches off and get back out again. But he's kind of caught between two minds at the moment. There's not an awful lot of a look of confidence in what Anderson's doing. Been shaken too often.
Cuts holding up reasonably well so far. Mutley trying to look for gaps again. Again, he wings away. And when he throws that left hook, he's with real menace and some very, very good hand speed as well. 2 body punches, then a left to the head. Much improved fighter, this young Mutley.
Not half, and I think the idea that we had that Anderson was physically the stronger, naturally bigger. I think we can forget that. He's shaking again.
That's a right hand this time before the left. And you just felt for a moment that Anderson was spinning like a top. The cut gets a bit worse again. The jab thuds in. It's all going Mutley's way here.
I think the accumulation of the solid punches that Anderson has taken in these rounds have knocked it out of him, and I don't think there's any way back. I think he's been drained of all his assets. He's standing at arm's length. There's not a great deal of fire in anything that he does. He's in huge trouble here.
He had that wonderful win over Joshua Akine to win the Commonwealth title. It was a close one, a split decision. Looked to be on his way, but he's finding that young Mutley is something else again here. Lovely uppercut, then a left hook. Class shots from Mutley, who on this evidence might even be able to go beyond British and Commonwealth level. He looks a right handful, doesn't he?
Yep, I just think he's taken away the strength that Anderson usually has. Anderson's not able to set a pace and hold it. Another good round for the British champion.
You must stand and with the hands up.
Benny King, the cut man, telling Anderson he has to get his glove up to stop the left hook from winging in every time. Like that.
I think Anderson knows what's required, but I think the strength has been drained from his legs with the accumulation of the solid punches that he's taken. There's still a strong, confident look in everything Mutley does, not the same in Anderson's work.
Into the second half of the contest, and the question at the moment is not so much who's going to win it as whether Anderson can get through to the end of it. He's got a little knot of about 60 fans over in the corner. They've fallen quite quiet with the way things have developed here, whereas the Mutley fans are having a bit of a party. West Bromwich Albion might have been relegated from the Premiership, but certainly young Mutley from West Bromwich, one of their fans, is certainly being promoted in boxing at the moment.
Mutley still controlling the pace, working at the pace he enjoys working at. Anderson not able to do anything about that.
Just can't really get into range as well. Mutley's just keeping him on the end of the jab, and when he can, winging away with those fast hooks. Looks stronger as well. Clips him with a right hand to the temple, then another left hook, oozing confidence. The man from the Black Country. Better from Anderson. A couple of right uppercuts and a body shot. Mutley, though, says take that, refusing to be dominated.
Once again, the right hand far too low. He's been caught so often with the left hook. You think that right hand would be up there and the work will be coming from his left.
Mutley, we love you, they're chanting. I bet he never thought he'd hear that when he was knocking around undercards all that time. This is a fighter who's paid his dues in the business, isn't it?
Yeah, but he's just come along quietly. What he says is true. He couldn't seem to get a decent fight at light welterweight. He stepped up to welterweight, and what a turnaround in his career.
Oh, and he's caught there. They just left his chin hanging out to dry. Anderson did get there with one, but
there wasn't a lot of power in that.
No. He rode it, didn't he?
Anderson's work has certainly improved in this round. Put a lot more into it. Maybe he's beginning to shake the effects of the earlier onslaughts. But it's not his normal performance, it's not the way he normally likes to box.
Mutley just getting a little ragged that time. A bit more precision from Anderson. Give him credit for his stickability here. He's taken a lot. He's had to really take his lumps, but he's still trying to battle away. Well, let's have a look at some of the big names who've held both of these titles. The great Ted Kid Lewis, possibly the greatest British boxer ever, from 1920 to 24. Eddie Thomas, the pride of Merthyr Tydfil, around the time of 49 to 1951. There was Brian Curvis in the 1960s, then big punching left hooker Colin Jones. Sylvester Mitty, extrovert character, remember him. Lloyd Hannigan, who went on to become a very fine world welterweight champion, the great win over Don Curry, remember. And for Scotland, Gary Jacobs, the only Scot to be British and Commonwealth welterweight champion. Anderson, long odds against at the moment to join him. 8th round. Red and white trunks of young Mutley, who's in a big lead, commanding lead.
So no matter what Anderson does, Mutley is able to stand his ground, take what comes, and still able to come back with shots.
By the way, 3 judges scoring these fights these days: Richie Davis, Marcus McDonald, and Birmingham's Terry O'Connor, who scored for young Mutley in his controversial win over Michael Jennings. We do have a Birmingham judge, we don't have a Scottish judge. I wonder why that is then.
I think we'll give him the benefit of the doubt here and say it was a close verdict as opposed to controversial, because a lot of people did feel Mutley won the fight.
Let's just say it was debatable, wasn't it? It was a close fight. Could have gone either way.
Yeah.
Anderson's had to dig really deep, and give him credit for that. The digging deep is one thing, and starting to win some rounds is another. And win some rounds he badly needs to do.
Mutley has been known to fall asleep in some of his fights, but at this level, in such an important fight, not advisable.
All asleep, it looks like he's plugged into the national grid tonight, Jim.
Anderson knows that a big drive is required, that's what he's trying to come up with.
Oh, it's another cracking left hand that got through from young Mutley. Anderson took that one better.
So I just think there's some of the bad habits that Kevin Anderson's been getting away with during his career. He's not getting away with them tonight. His right hand is far too low. He doesn't seem to be learning the lessons of the left hook.
Well, it's a style thing, and I guess he's not going to solve it in the course of the contest. It does raise a little question about the preparation, doesn't it? They must have known young Mutley was dangerous with the left hook, but there's no sign really of any great defence against that weapon.
No, there's none actually. And I think up to now Anderson's been able to keep the other fella too occupied to worry about his own arsenal. He hasn't done that tonight.
Mutley not as impressive in that round, perhaps, not much in it.
Look a couple of rounds up. Look a couple of rounds up. Come on. Aaron, stop leading after your fucking right hand, will you, please? Okay, man.
Well, they're trying to lift him in that corner. But it's a road, a long uphill road, which must look like the side of Ben Nevis to him at the moment.
Well, he knows what's required, and he's definitely trying to come up with that. He's just trying to grind things out. He expected, obviously, to outbox Mutley. That hasn't happened. But he seems to have warmed, if you like, to the power of Mutley's punches. He hasn't been troubled for a few rounds, so maybe there'll be more confidence in what he does from here on in.
Round 9, young Mutley's lead, still a big one. Maybe he knows that. Maybe he knows he has the points in the bank. Just gone off the boil slightly in terms of sharpness and snap in the last couple of rounds, young Mutley. But if he is coasting for a bit, it's coasting he can afford.
As though Anderson has thrown the effects for a couple of rounds. His balance wasn't right, as though he was still stunned by the earlier punches. There's a bit more sharpness about him now, and Mutley has definitely dropped the pace a bit.
Just a bit more life pumped into the legs of Anderson. He went through a horrendous period in the fight where he was decked heavily, cut badly, caught repeatedly. Just trying now to see if he can claw his way back somehow. It's a long way back. Good body punching from young Mutley, who steps it up again.
See, Mutley seems able to get into the driving seat whenever he likes. It seems to be his temperament. He doesn't drive himself on sometimes the way you feel he should. And he looks so much stronger when he starts going forward. Stealing this round up to now. He's been careful, he's been cagey. Mutley hasn't produced too much.
Yeah, I agree with you, Jim. He's just been that bit more accurate as well. Just going through a flat spell in the fight, Mutley here. Scottish fans are trying to lift Anderson, almost as if they can sense that he's trying somehow to engineer a comeback. It would be an improbable one.
There's the left hook once again, no defence whatsoever.
Good right hand from Mutley. Anderson does need to tighten up his defence if he is going to be a championship operator at whatever level.
Well, it's a few rounds since he's been shaken by any of these single shots. So it looks to me as if his head's cleared a little bit. Maybe not quite the start in Mutley's punches.
Listen, get a new one. We need more fucking speed. We need more work. We need 2 rounds. Stop 2 rounds.
He's on last fucking round all the time.
Well, that corner is happy enough on the left there. The young Mutley corner led by Harold Johnson and his team.
Well, you can see how I'm looking at things there. Mutley in a handy lead with only 3 rounds to go. He only has to win 1 more round. And my card. Sorry, I'm counting the wrong way. I'm only 1 point in. Actually, counting my head, I thought I had him further ahead. Well, it's tighter than I thought myself.
I must say, I've got Mutley in a much bigger lead than that, but there you go. 3 judges to score it. Remember, Richie Davis, Marcus McDonald, and Terry O'Connor. This is round number 10. 3 rounds to go. Maybe Mutley just needing to pick it up a bit, though, as he goes in towards the home stretch. He gets so much so early in the fight. Anderson gets a little right over the top.
See, again, when Mutley goes forward, he looks so much stronger than Anderson. Is he worried about the 12-round distance? Is he just having a breather in the last couple of rounds? But there's definitely been a dip in his work rate. This is more like it.
Much more devil about Mutley's work throughout, really. I think a big factor in this fight, you know, has been speed as well. The speed of Mutley's punches as well as the power of them. I think that's why Anderson has found it, well, one of the reasons he's found it so hard to get out of the way, apart from the fact that he leaves his right glove a bit low.
Yeah, I just feel he's had a few bad habits in his earlier career, and I think he's really been found out with them tonight. The right hand's always been far too low, the head a bit too stationary as he moves forward.
Picking up the action again, good right hand in the middle, through the middle from Mutley, who got his gloves up well, and his defence was better than Anderson's there. Caught Anderson with a left hook on the way in. Suddenly the tempo rises again. Anderson does score with a left hook, but there's more of Mutley. Oh, he's got him! Mutley's hurt! Mutley's hurt, and Anderson has a breakthrough. Is there going to be an astonishing turnaround? He was rocked there. Young Mutley, he's all over the place. His legs have gone. Anderson can win it here. Against all odds. What a turnaround. Mutley in desperate trouble, tries to hold on, but he's sagging against those ropes. He desperately has to hold on. Can he get through it? Oh, he's gone. Totally.
What an amazing turnaround. That one single punch did it.
And it's stopped. Kevin Anderson wins the British and Commonwealth Welterweight Championships in an astonishing turnaround. He turned that fight on its head in round 10 to give Scotland a famous, famous win.
Well, not quite Castillo Corrales, but what kind of turnaround was that? He just, at this stage in a very hard fight, one single punch can just drain everything. And that's what happened here. Unbelievable. I didn't see that happening. Mutley was coming back to life again in his performance. It looked as though he was going to start dominating again. That one punch looked like a left hook, bang onto the chin, just took everything away from him. Unbelievable turnaround from Kevin Anderson.
I regret to tell you that there's a bit of crowd trouble at the end here over on the far side where the Scottish fans are congregated. Let's hope that quickly quietens down. But what a fight we saw there, and young Mutley will feel that he's thrown that away. What a win for Kevin Anderson. What a triumph for his stickability. He had to come through so much of a crisis. He looked a long way behind to me in the fight. Mutley looked to have it all under control, but one moment there was an equaliser.
Well, that's what, and as I say, at this stage in the fight, when you're beginning to tire a little bit and you get caught with clean punches, but if someone was going to get a result here with a single punch, you'd have put your house on it, it was going to be young Mutley. He's the one who had the power all the way through. So many times he troubled Anderson with his power. Unbelievable.
Now let's look at this again. As I'm afraid the crowd trouble gets a little worse here at ringside with people trying to get into the ring now.
Well, Mutley had gone to sleep for me for a couple of rounds, just dropped to pace, and he walked right on to the left hook. You can see the legs dip, and then he's doubled up with it again. But you saw how the legs dipped with the punch. Didn't have the experience, or maybe didn't have his wits about him to grab hold of Anderson. But there you go. That's the first punch that caught him a little bit high. And he's still coming forward. Bang! That's the one that did the damage. Then he come back with another left hook shortly after that. But the first one was the one that drained everything away from Mutley. Saw his chance, and it says a lot for his condition that he can pour the punches on here. Tremendous performance. He saw a chance he didn't think he'd be seeing, and he went for it. He did not stop throwing punches until the referee had no choice but to stop it.
And as you're watching this, the MC is just trying to calm down the crowd here. Things getting a bit excitable. But what a performance by Kevin Anderson, who took so much. And that was where Phil Edwards stepped in. And it's where the dream disappeared for young Mutley.
Well, he seemed to have recovered. He seemed stunned for a few rounds, as though there was no strength in his work, but suddenly he got a second win, as though he'd thrown the effects of the punch. There was a lot more strength, a bit more confidence in his work, and then when he got that chance, he had the condition and the will to win, just to pour the punches on, never stop throwing punches until the referee stopped it. That was unbelievable.
Well, you mentioned the Diego Corrales Jose Luis Castillo first fight. That was obviously at world level. This is British and Commonwealth, but very similar. Same round, 10th round, fight turned on its head. Amazing stuff. For the neutrals, sensational action. A heartbreaker for young Mutley. For Kevin Anderson, he joins Gary Jacobs in history as the only Scot to win British and Commonwealth welterweight crowns.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2 minutes and 18 seconds of the 10th round. The referee, Phil Edwards, has stopped this contest. Your winner, and still the Commonwealth champion, and the newly crowned British champion from Fife, Kevin Anderson. And please show your appreciation from West Bromwich for young Mutley.
Marvellous sportsmanship from both, and you can only admire their bravery and the demonstration of their courage and contrast it with the idiocy of some of young Mutley's supporters who instigated the trouble at ringside tonight. Happily, that does appear to be under control here now. What a triumph for this man. He has come from nowhere. In one fight, he was so far out of it, to become British and Commonwealth welterweight champion. But surely young Mutley can come again after a display which showed all the skills that we had heard talked about on undercards around the country, but we just hadn't seen enough of. Robert McCracken, we thought that Barnes Vincent was the last word at this level in terms of a British welterweight title fight. How was that for you?
What a tremendous fight. For Anderson to come back where he came back and win the fight, a tremendous performance, and you've got to feel for Mutley, really. He had the fight won and it slipped away.
Thank you, Robert. We'll come back to you in just a moment. Ed Robinson speaks to a sensational winner now.
Well, exactly, sensational win, Kevin. How on earth did you pull that around at the end?
Oh, it was a big win. I mean, that's what it says. We went through all the pain in the gym, pushing our body to a different level, and that's why you do it, to come back at like that. I mean, he's a great fighter, as you see against Michael Jennings, but pulled out the bag. I told you I would turn it on when I move up in class, and I think I done that tonight.
You were down heavily in the second round. How badly hurt were you?
I wasn't hard. I just didn't see it coming. I didn't even feel it. Next thing I was on the floor, and I knew he was a big puncher, and if I dropped that right hand, he was in with the big left hook, and I got caught. And it was better getting caught early, where I could put it back instead of the later rounds, but managed to wear him down and pull it back and come away with the win.
You got caught all night with that left hook. How did you keep your self-belief?
That's what all the training's for. The training's to get the legs tight, and everything's to be strong in there. And he caught me with some big punches, but that's what the training's for. I mean, we work hard as a team and we pulled it off tonight.
You've got those 2 belts now. What does that mean to you?
Oh, it's great. I promised Sonny that I was going to take the belts on him, and I just couldn't let them go, and managed to put it in the bag, and he'll pay the belts tonight.
Finally, some sympathy for Mutley, having tried so hard.
Oh, he's a great fighter. I mean, I thought it was close when he fought Jennings, and as you watch the replay, he did well, and he maybe deserved to win it, but he's a strong guy. For coming up at light welter, he's a hell of a fighter, but we want to fight the best, and Mutley was number 1 at the time, and makes us number 1.
Well done tonight.
It was a big gamble by his camp. Somehow it paid off, but he was any price during that. More from Robert McCracken as the dust settles on a memorable British and Commonwealth title fight.